the audio issues. Thank you, everyone, for being patient with me and Mr. Darian here. But man, happy to hear you're doing good, sir. I mean, there's so much to talk about today, and I just wanted to dive deep real quick. First of all, to give an introduction to you. You, Darian, are one of the founders, if not the founder, for Seasonal Shootout, which is the top tier amateur league for Rocket League Esports, basically right underneath Rlcs, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
It's definitely one of them. There are a couple other bubble scene leagues out there. Shout out to Melon Patch League, the Women's Carnival League as well, which features just all female competition. But as far as kind of like a bring your own team bubble league scene, I would say we are pretty up there regarding leagues for bubble teams to come and compete.
For sure, man. Yeah, I mean, Darian, we can just go down the rabbit hole real quick. You love Rocket League. I love Halo. I love League of Legends. Basically, what I'm trying to say is we both love esports, and there has to be a reason, why you started Seasonal Shootout, right? We're definitely going to dive into it later down the road, but like I stated, I want to go down the rabbit hole and just kind of give a background for everyone. A little bit personal, I guess, just so people get to know you individually as a person. And I just want to know, where did you start from? Like, where do you come from? Where did you grow up? How was high school like? And what kind of got you into the world of esports today? So...
I've been kind of all over the place in terms of like living. I was born in Florida, lived there for a couple of years, and then moved up to Georgia for a couple of years as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then my parents' work ended up bringing us out to California, and that's where I pretty much was raised. I like to consider California kind of like my hometown, because I spent about 12 years of my life out there, somewhere around there. Math is probably a little off, but I just call it 12. So I lived there, grew up, went to elementary, middle, high school, graduated in California, kind of jumped around high school to high school a little bit. But during those high school years, I was very into sports. I was very sports oriented. I was running cross country, doing track and field constantly. I was a big basketball person as well. Played basketball my freshman year.
Nice.
And my sophomore year, actually.
Nice.
And I think my sports orientation just kind of led me into the esports realm as well. I loved playing video games as a kid. What kid doesn't like playing video games?
True.
But as a kid, I never really saw it as a possible business venture. I saw it more so for fun, have fun with friends, kind of wind down the day, just kind of de-stress, And
for sure.
Now to be in this position where, I'm running this league that's featuring not only bubble scene teams and like lower community level teams, but now we have Rlcs talent in our league. It's just mind-boggling to me.
Mind-boggling.
If you told high school me that I'd be running this league to this level, almost 10 years down the road, I would probably say you're crazy. You're making it up. And this wasn't where I thought that I would be going with my life. In high school, I always wanted to go to college for athletic training or try to play sports in college. Try to get there. I wanted to make it as in track. Track was my biggest thing.
Okay.
And, it didn't work out. So I just started getting into like the work field, working in a bunch of restaurants, and worked my way up from a busboy all the way up into management. And I love it.
It's crazy.
And I kind of think that's where my mindset of organizing and planning kind of goes. Is that mindset of, if you're going to do something, go out and do it, and just make sure this is what you want to do. Because if you're not going to be 100% committed into putting something together, then it's going to flop. It's going to fail. So I think that's what a lot of people haven't struggle with when they try to create something. They're like, oh, this would be cool to organize and set up. But a lot of people don't really understand the back end of it all. Gathering sponsors, communicating to teams, creating the structure, the formatting.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much work behind the scenes that people don't entirely understand. And when they see how much work it actually is, they kind of crumble under all the pressure. It doesn't turn out the way that they want it to go.
For sure. This is a high topic, or a big prio topic, I guess, for me too, Mr. Darian. Basically, like, I mean, I can give you a little insight too to counteract your high school experience and your sports experience. For me, I mean, I grew up loving esports or video games myself, and then I kind of fell in love with the first like esport title that was like popular in America, which was like Halo 2, Halo 3. And ever since then, I just wanted to be like a pro and go into the esports world. But back to what you're saying, man, people don't realize that the sponsorships, endorsements, influencer marketing campaigns, all the stuff that I'm working with today, like if you told me I was going to do this 4 years ago, get out of here. I would have said, no way, Jose. I just stick to being a pro. But at the end of the day, being a pro is amazing, right? But esports is beautiful in a sense outside of being a pro, because there's so many avenues to work in this space now, more than ever before, because there's funding and like the industry is just booming, because we need video editors, we need content creators, we need people with real life, like actual like skill sets to be a part of this industry. And I mean, it sounds like you're literally doing everything and anything to make sure that your league is afloat, so to speak. So, but yeah, man, I mean, that's crazy. That's good to hear that that's not that you're overwhelmed, but that's good to hear that you are like so succumbed into your passion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, no, I know what you're saying, and I wouldn't really call it overwhelmed. I call it more indulged, and kind of on that grind constantly. Trying to make sure that anything that I do is going to lead towards the success of the league.
For sure.
I want to be able to create something that's going to be there whenever I move on from esports, if I ever do. And right now, I honestly don't think I'm going to, ever.
Agreed.
It's created such a large opportunity for me. The least that I can do is give back to the league that's gotten me to where I am now. I want to be able to give it as much as I possibly can. I want to see that succeed, and not just kind of be like, okay, well, now that I'm at this level, I don't have time for you.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to grow as well. I want it to be something that's going to be there for the foreseeable future.
For sure. I mean, Darian, it sounds like me. I mean, every single time we talk, just fill the viewers in. I mean, we obviously are partnered or sponsor for you guys for your Premier Leagues, for your leagues in general, for Seasonal Shootout. So me and you have been in talks before this, initial stream, just about, what's going on in the back end and how we're going to provide our sponsorship dollars to you, as well as being able to promote, your league as much as possible from a marketing sense. But man, I just want to touch base and say you sound exactly like me, Darian. Oh my God. Because just to give you some insight, I was the same way with my university. To fill in the viewers, I think I've told the story before, but I was the catalyst and the starter, the founder of Maverick Esports, basically, with me and my community for League of Legends. And when I was in university, I was like, I'm not making a rinky-dink 5 people in a club bullcrap experience. We grew it to like 255 members, and we had talks with the university and all this crazy stuff. But back to what you were saying is you don't want it to die because you have such a big passion for it, and it's kind of made you elevate yourself, to the person you are today. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail right on the head there, in terms of kind of explaining, why it is that I'm so passionate about what I do with this league, and just kind of everything within esports.
For sure. And to bring it back, Darian, you said you loved playing video games as a child. Everyone loves playing video games as a child. What were the games you played? Like, just fill me in real quick.
I was a big Call of Duty person. I started playing Call of Duty when it was actually its second game out, Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1. That was my first ever Call of Duty game, way back when. I don't even remember what year it is. I don't even want to know at this point, because that just signifies how long I've been playing video games. And
Same.
I know in real life, I'm not that old, but in esports terms, I am old. I should technically be retired. So
anything over 24, you're considered a boomer in like esports world. I don't know why, but you know.
Exactly. If you're not 15 to 19, you're old. You shouldn't be here. It's like, why are you here? Why aren't you out doing something else? So if you're anything older than 21, people start to question why you're still doing esports, why you're around video games. People don't understand.
For sure.
And yeah.
Yeah, it's been booming, and I've been noticing just around the esports world that we work in. The ages are creeping up higher and higher. Even the pro players, like some of the Call of Duty players in CDL, they're like almost like 30. So it's just we're here to stay. We're here to make sure that we're kicking butt, and we just have such a big passion for video games that is translated into the esports world that it is now as a business entity. So yeah, man. Before we move on to the next topic, good sir, my question is, when did you start playing Rocket League? Like, what year? Was it right away? Like, what kind of started you into the world of, like, car soccer?
I started playing this lovely carball game about my senior year of high school. So that'd be 2016, so about 8 years ago. I think it was like a year or so after it came out. I actually saw one of my regular streamers that I usually watch on Twitch. His name is Gassy Mexican, for anyone that knows him or doesn't know of him. Really fun streamer, go check him out. Shameless plug right there. But I saw him playing Rocket League. I was like, that looks really fun. I want to play that game. And when I got my first laptop, that was the first game I downloaded. And I started trying to learn it, playing with the controller, and I just couldn't get the hang of it, but I still really enjoyed it. I wanted to be able to learn it and just kind of get up to Grand Champ like everyone did it. Everyone wanted to at the time.
For sure.
And when I realized controller wasn't working out, I actually switched to keyboard and mouse after about 100 or 3. It's like between 100 and 300 hours I had on controller, and then I made the switch over to KBM. And 3,000 hours later on KBM,
You're still on KBM, chat. Please.
I am still on KBM
this.
to this day.
What? My mind is blown, dude. What the hell? Okay, keep going. Wow, that is insane.
KBM, I don't know. For whatever reason, KBM just felt smoother to me. It felt easier. Obviously, with KBM, there are some mechanics that are a little more challenging to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm up for a challenge, And I tried to go back to controller once, did not go well.
That's insane.
So highly recommend that I never play controller.
I just was so funny. Surprised. Oh, sorry, go.
Sorry, no, that's okay. Which is funny because going into like the controller and KBM debate, I'm actually kind of a weirdo when it comes to that. I play keyboard and mouse for Rocket League, which is primarily a controller game.
Mm-hmm.
But, me being on a PC, whenever I play Call of Duty, like Warzone or anything like that, most people are playing KBM. I'm actually playing on controller. I play my first-person shooters with controller. But for whatever reason, I play racing games and, other car games with controller as well. But Rocket League specifically, I play keyboard and mouse. It's weird.
It's weird.
It's just... I don't understand the logic behind why my brain says I need to do it with this, but it works. So I'm not going to change what works.
True. I just know, like, from obviously the players that I'm around and / me playing in Rocket League, that majority of the player base is like on controller, and obviously there is KBM players out there, but that's just like you're one of the few. Dude, I gotta see you. You gotta start streaming. I swear, I would love to see like a POV cam of just you on your controller. Or on your keyboard, excuse me. That'd be so cool.
You don't want to see a controller.
Like that could be another. There could be donation insight, but anyways.
maybe a subathon goal for the future.
Subathon goal. Go back to controller. That's so funny, man.
Go back to controller. Play 1 hour of Rocket League on controller. I'm gonna write that one down actually.
Write it down. Nice. Coming up with ideas on the fly. Let's go. Oh my goodness. Well, Darian, Yeah, I just want to touch base real quick on, I guess, your start with Rocket League, just in general, like as a player, not Seasonal Shootout.
Mhm.
Speaking of Seasonal Shootout, though, I wanted to transition to the next topic. You spoke earlier about working as you're bussing tables. You were a waiter and you were basically management for a restaurant, correct?
Yep.
I just wanted to dive a little deep into the business side of you yourself, Darian, just because Esports is a platform that's meant to elevate players, and our stream is meant to just kind of give an insight on the business side to everything that's going on. And before we get into seasonal shootout, the real meat and potatoes of this topic, what were the business ventures that led you to seasonal shootout? Like what work made you realize that you wanted to go full seasonal shootout and go into the esports world? Was it always something hovering in your head like post high school, or did you just kind of eventually fall in love with it more and more during your time as a worker? So
It was kind of more so. It was kind of like just in the back of my head constantly. Because even as an adult, working adult, constantly working 40, 50, sometimes 60 hours a week
yeah.
as a manager, and sometimes even as a server. I would always find time for video games. I would always find time to jump on, play with some buddies, try to have some fun in Rlcs qualifiers, even though we aren't going to make it. But I was just trying to find little tournaments and organizations to kind of play with, and it always fascinated me. But even when I was 18 and graduated from high school, esports wasn't really something I surrounded my lifestyle around.
For sure.
It was constantly just work, pay bills, and make sure I graduate, of course. And I don't know, I I feel like I just kind of had a weird upbringing into esports, because before that, like I said, I was bussing, serving, managing. I even sold cars for a little bit, and that's actually when I had my. That's actually when I decided to actually start getting into esports.
Okay.
And I joined my first organization as a player on one of their super low level teams. I think it was like Champ 2, like a Champ 2/Champ 3 team. But it was my first real experience in like a esports team setting, in an organization setting. And that was really cool, and I found it really fascinating. And I was like, hey, I kind of want to, see if this can take me anywhere, whether it be like creating my own org, making my own event, or just trying to make it as a player, play more, try to get better. And
for sure,
I think slowly towards the middle of 2018, I think it was around that time. No, 2019. Middle of 2019 is when I really first started getting into esports, and trying to create events, to play as a team, and that's when I created Seasonal Shootout.
That's crazy. It's you can't just jump like that, good sir. What are you talking about? No, sorry. I mean, so it sounds like we kind of have the same similarity, and also from other people I've talked to, Darian. People like for me, I'm a little unique because I kind of grew up with like Halo at such a young age, and then I like was watching Fuse TV, Halo 3, like straight ripping, snipe down all these players and these orgs back then that were orgs. And ever since then, I was like, this is amazing. I love this. I'm a nerd. I'm okay with this. Let's do it. And then I don't think my passion or my transition that you had, where you played with a team and you were fascinated by like having a team environment around esports, didn't kick into like university of 2018, 2019. So we're kind of in the same timeline in regards to like the esports world. And I really think it really blew up. I mean, I hate to say it because of Fortnite. Like, ever since Fortnite blew up, I think the industry or the world itself was like, okay, we need to throw millions of dollars to this because it's a real thing. So, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. So, but you found love. Oh, sorry, you can go.
No, I was gonna say personally, I feel like it started before Fortnite. It started with Call of Duty, in my opinion. Call of Duty had their big CDL.
True, actually.
It's constantly been growing and growing ever since then. And then, when did Fortnite come out? Like 2019, something like that?
Like 2018.
2020,
yeah.
2018, 2019. That's when we started to see more sort of the era of Battle Royales kick in.
True.
Esports has been here for a while, for a very long time. Um, but we saw a different era kind of emerge within the esports realm when Fortnite came out with their battle royales. You know, of course, there were other battle royales before that. You know, you had H1Z1. You had
Such
PUBG.
a good game.
PUBG was the big one that first kind of blew up as the battle royale, and then that's when Fortnite came along.
For sure.
And now we have Warzone. So
Now
I
we
think
have
Warzone and Fortnite are your two biggest battle royales right now, in my opinion. But it's nice to see that all of these other games kind of come into the esports scene a little more and be pretty dominant. You know, you got CS:GO, you got League of Legends, you got Apex, you got Fortnite, you got Valorant now, Rocket League. All of these tier 1 esports. You know, I know that's a very controversial topic. Some people don't believe Rocket League is a tier 1 esport.
I do.
Personally do. Personally, it's gotten a big boom. Unfortunate to say this, but you know, I feel like the esports world kind of peaked up when it was when COVID was at its peak. You know, everything kind of shut down, everything went online, and so everyone was home. So you know, when everyone's not able to converse in person, you know, we kind of go into this this online world.
For
and
sure.
Esports kind of took advantage of that. You know, not only did video games boom, but you know, you had other in-person games also have to go online. You know, NASCAR went online. You know, they had their iRacing startup. You know,
Crazy.
MLB started up. You know, with MLB The Show, they started doing like leagues on that. You know, other businesses that usually have in-person revenue went online because they saw the potential of esports, and I think that was what really gave esports its major kick. And so, you know, as much as COVID was and still does kind of suck, you know, some things do kind of emerge bigger and better out of very unfortunate situations, and I feel like the esports community is definitely one of them.
We definitely did blow up, I will say, because League of Legends was on ESPN, like on TV ESPN, not ESPN3. And I remember watching it with my dad back home, and he was like, "What is this bull crap? What do you mean? This is what I love. Like, I've been in love with this since like 14, bro." So like, you know, like we really, I don't know if you've seen the meme with like the stonks guy and like esports fries. That's literally what happened during the pandemic. And to touch base on what you're saying, Darian, yeah, I used to watch COD Champs. I used to be obsessed with Optic, OG phase, way back when. And then, you know, everything just kind of flourished in like the franchise league that is Call of Duty. But besides that, I just think, man, like esports really did just kind of boom with the pandemic, you know, and currently what things are going on. But I don't know, Fortnite really just stole the show. Like everyone and their mother was, you know, talking about it, watching streams, YouTubers, and it got to the point where even I'm not a big Fortnite fan, I'll be honest. I was so like annoyed and it became so obnoxious, but I think that's the reason that like so many investors, like other companies that like are non-endemic, like not like actually part of like the esports world, invested into, you know, what is esports and what is esports today. And to touch base on what you're talking about with Rocket League, I think Rocket League is a tier 1 esport. This game, Rocket League is so beautiful, bro. I'm a D1 pleb. I don't care. But man, this game, I think they captured, Sonic's captured something that's so beautiful that it seems so easy on paper, you know, oh, we're gonna play soccer but with, you know, cars. But the air rolling, the air dribbling, the musty flicks, the resets, dude, I love it. I absolutely love it, and I'm so happy we can dive into Seasonal Shootout here real quick, good sir. But before we do that, I wanted to know, so you said you were bussing tables, you were management, and you kind of fell in love with the esports scene. Like, what was the conversations or thoughts that led into you making the logo for Seasonal Shootout? Who did you talk to like become staff with you? Like, you know, like what were those operations? Do you have any like nitty gritty operations from the beginning, by chance?
See, that was kind of a weird spot, you know, kind of finding the staff and the people that wanted to be a part of it. It didn't really happen until after our first season, where we started to kind of create more and more graphics. You know, our first season, I don't even think there were like real actual streams. I think maybe there was a stream every now and then, once in a blue moon during it. One of my buddies who was actually on the team, my competitive team, He actually did some graphic design, and he created our first original logo. I wish I still had it. I think I have it somewhere hidden away on my computer somewhere. If I find it, I'll just send it over to you to kind of show you the progress from season 1 to now.
Crazy.
And then after the first season, some people were like, "Yeah, that was pretty fun. You know, is there gonna be another one?" And I was like, "You know, I'm not really sure. Is another one that something that these teams would be interested in doing?" And surprisingly, some teams are like, "Yeah, we'll do it again. You know, what's the prize pool?" And I was like, "Oh man, you know, I didn't even think about it." And to kind of put that into context, you know, our first season just consisted of 8 teams that were originally scrim partners between the ranks of C1 to C3. And, you know, it was just kind of like a scrim league for lower teams to kind of be able to scrim each other and play. You know, there wasn't really much thought out detail into it because, like I said, you know, I was super new into the esports realm. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. And seasons 1 to 3 was a major learning curve for me. And that's just kind of where I was like, okay, so I have to do this. I have to get the staff for this. I need to find someone to do graphics. And some people are like, oh, I know someone that might be able to help with graphics. Oh, I know someone that can help run production. Oh, I've had a little bit of casting experience. Oh, I want to learn how to cast. It's like, okay, cool. So we have all these people that want to try and learn and get into the scene, you know, make some graphics, run a stream. And I was like, okay, well, let's give this a shot. So we ran our second season with a couple new graphics, new overlays, and then we started to slowly grow into something that more and more orgs started to recognize for their community teams, or their academy teams, as a lot of orgs call them. So I would say at the time we were just more so of like an academy league for teams that don't really have a chance to compete at a high level. And now we're here.
I mean,
but going into like the staff side of everything, it was very interesting because, you know, there wasn't much outreach being like, hey, you know, we need staff for this. It was more so people actually coming to us being like, hey, you know, do you need staff for seasonal? You know, do you need like a Discord mod, or I can do better graphics than this person. You know, if you're wanting, you know, YouTube videos out or
content
clip of
creation
the week or something like that. So a lot of people were like, hey, you should do this. You should try doing this. And I was like, oh, well, do you know anyone that can do something like that? And then they would actually give us a referral to some people. I'm pretty sure that's actually how we found our co-owner, Kuntz, who is actually our lead graphic designer for everything right now. And that's actually how we found our other graphic designer, who is creating our graphics for this season as well, Zoella. So it's been all through connections, finding the right connections with people that have been within the scene and kind of know their way around, and learning from their experience as to how to run something. And I've taken all of that experience over the years from all those people, whether they're, you know, major people from major organizations or someone from like a lower organization or an esports team that is trying to better themselves. And, you know, trying to combine all of that experience into one thing and being like, okay, so these are the pros and cons to this, these are the pros and cons to that. Let's try and find some sort of equilibrium in between and run with that. And that's kind of what we've been trying to do ever since the beginning. For sure.
Man, sorry, Darren, you're really preaching a lot of things that are kind of core to Era, especially personally for me too. To give you insight on the other side of everything, League of Legends also has like academy tier 3 teams and whatnot, and there's like bubble scenes at Wisdom Gaming, Torrent, like their mothership, so to speak, their mother company runs like a tier 1 amateur League of Legends like circuit, so that people can get drafted into proving grounds, become academy players, into like professional League of Legends players. So you guys are literally like a bubble scene / like an amateur league, and you guys are here to promote people that don't have the opportunity to be at the top level, but you're giving them, you know, a segue or like a ramp to basically RLCS, which is super cool. And one reason why I love this partnership, because, you know, Era Sports is all about elevating the amateur level player base and just the casual players to become, you know, what they want to be. Pros, amateurs, whatever. Like, we're here to make sure that, you know, we can scale up the player base that deserves to be scaled up. So it's crazy, man. Not to get too sentimental, but that's absolutely insane. To touch
Don't
back.
go soft on me now.
Don't go soft on you. To touch back on what you're saying though, about like the first year, second year, I've noticed from my personal experience as well as just networking through the Twitter sphere, everyone else like in the Minnesota region. Man, like esports really doesn't have a single path. Like you really have to just kind of go out there and make a name for yourself, or if people like your product or what you're doing, they really come to you. And it's all about navigating the channels to get employment or staff or just everything is so freehand, and it's a bittersweet feeling. One, it's not as structured as like traditional, you know, industry, you know, staffing or employment. But like esports is also so beautiful because we can literally just go out our way and be like, look at this meme I made on Twitter, and then boom, you just get like an internship at, you know, Cloud9 or something. So it's crazy, and it sounds like me and you are both living this kind of like esports world, and you guys are doing great. Like everything you guys are doing, I'm so happy for you guys and how far you guys have come. I know that I'm still new to like the whole seasonal shootout, you know, sponsorship from my end, but Era's more than happy to sponsor you. I'm off my soapbox, I promise.
No worries. You're gonna make me break out the tissue box, I swear.
Just start wiping tears and stuff. Oh my goodness. Well, we're about halfway, a little over halfway, Mr. Darian. I wanted to segue into seasonal shootout, but I had some questions, or wanted to make sure, you know, I can leave the floor to you. Do you have any like video or content you want us to show on stream for the viewers before we jump into the seasonal shootout, you know, topic?
Yeah, we actually have a video for our Premier League, which is going to be coming up here. That is going to be starting on June 10th. And we have our video editor, Rogue Storm, who is very kind enough to help us out over from Empire. And she actually created a video for us, and I think we have it on stream for us.
I think we have it. Let's tune into that video right now.
Trying to take me alive. Get ready for the fallout. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma find my way through the blood and pain game of survival. Anytime or place, watch 'em run away. I got none. I'll be standing on my own. Never gonna take my throne. I got no rival. Watch 'em run away. I got no. I got no rival. No rival. No rival. I got no rival.
Oh my goodness, brother, that video is amazing. Who made this
every
video?
Time I watch that video, it gives me chills. You know, not just from how good the video edit is, but just be able to see all of those teams revealed and all those teams that we're going to be having participate in next season is still so surreal for me to even think that we're having those teams play in this league.
I was looking at some numbers, and Ghost Gaming, like, dude, they have millions of followers. It's insane. You have Torrent, Wisdom Gaming here in Minnesota. You have Shopify Railing. I know them. I actually saw their Halo team when I went to the Kansas event, so that's crazy. And Sonics too. Like, I was looking at the roster. We've known a little bit about this before everyone else. So, dude, Roguestorm is the editor.
Roguestorm, yes.
Shouts out to Roguestorm. That video is chef's kiss. So, and that's for the Premier League, good sir. Did you have another video that you wanted to show off on stream by chance?
Yeah, actually. So we don't just have the Premier League. Obviously our Premier League is going to kind of be like our highlight tier stream for the season. That specific league is featuring teams that are only within the top 24 for Rlcs point rankings. But we do have another tier that's just below that for our bubble scene called the Empire Challenger League. And we haven't actually released this video yet, so this is actually going to be the debut of it.
Ooh, let's roll it in. Fancy. Man. Wow. What a video.
Yeah.
Both those...
Shout out to Roguestorm again. If anyone watching that video actually noticed, there were only 8 teams that we've revealed for Challenger League, not 10 like Premier. The reasoning behind that is because we are actually having an open qualifier for our Empire Challenger League for other bubble teams to potentially get into. We'll be taking 2 teams from that open qualifier to compete in that tier, which will be a prize pool of $1,000, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Luis.
Let's go!
And we don't just have the Premier and Challenger Leagues. For those of you who might be a little lower, don't think they can compete at those levels. We also have our Beyond Ranked Academy League and our Esports Prospect League, which will feature more, which are going to be catering more so for the community teams and academy teams for orgs, or even just kind of put together teams that want to participate. So if you want to compete in a league that your favorite RLCS team or your favorite bubble team is participating in, but you want to play in a lower tier, you are more than welcome to. We do have registration open for those as well. And the registration link is actually going to be on our Twitter. So if you go to SS League HQ, on Twitter, you can actually find the registration link in our pinned message on our profile.
Amazing, amazing. I think we can link that into the Twitch chat for everyone here shortly. But yeah, I mean, that's crazy, man. I mean, one, congrats on everything you've been doing, dude. You have some big names in your Premier League. The Challenger League sounds super dope. The fact that people can play into it, and you also have a couple community leagues that we talked about, and you also have our Era Prospect League, which I'm probably going to be playing. I'm assuming. I hope it's not higher than Diamond. If I'm D1 trash, I can play with other D1 players. They can carry me. I have a wonderful time. So yeah, dude. I mean, that's crazy, man. Wow.
Last season we actually did have a Diamond/Champ team participate in our Tier 3, which is the equivalent to our Prospect tier this season. So even if you are a Diamond player or even lower, you are able to get into it. Prospect is specifically meant for those lower teams, where I started from. Basically, it's for those teams that don't get an opportunity to have a spot to compete in a league
for sure
with other teams for a prize pool. So of course the league is going up and up constantly. We're reaching out to Rlcs teams, bringing in this amazing talent, not just on the field but also in the booth, on the production booth. We got tons of really great talent as far as casters and producers coming in to help us make this thing possible. But the nice thing with Seasonal is we're not going away from our roots. We're staying true to bringing competition to the lower tiers as well, the lower teams. So that was very important to me when going up and up in terms of competitive play. I wanted there to still be something for the lower tiers, and I think we kind of are going to be able to finally make that a success this season.
For sure. Let me give you some insight, Mr. Darian. Dude, people want to compete. I don't care who you are, what rank you are. People want to compete at almost any level. Maybe towards the lower ranks, people are just taking it casually. But if you're playing ranked, you want to compete, right? Even for me, I was obsessed with League of Legends. I'm a plat diamond player, so I do want to play in leagues that cater to a lower ranking level versus specifically pure amateur, something like you guys' Premier League, which is I'm assuming GCs or SSLs only, and then you want to play in your specific tier and you want to have fun and get better within a competition base that's the same level as you. So it's super cool that you have these 4 tiered leagues, and obviously you have the big kahunas, the Premier League, with all these crazy orgs that people know brand awareness wise, from all over the nation. So dude, those videos are clean. I'm excited for everything that's going on. I'm definitely tuning in way more now that we're fully on board with this whole operation with you guys. And man, dude, that's crazy. Also, quick question, since I'm on the topic, what is the average rank for your Premier players by chance?
Premier, oh gosh.
Throw you on the spot.
For Premier, I'd have to say almost top 100 on the leaderboards right now.
It's insane.
For individual players. If anyone in chat actually wants to help me out with that question, you're more than welcome to. But SSL, definitely 100%. SSL and up, they need to make a rank higher than SSL.
A higher SSL? That's insane.
A higher SSL. And then our Challenger League is between that GC2 to also SSL. And then Academy is around that GC-ish, GC2, I believe is where it evens out to. And then our Prospect is everything and below.
For sure.
It's GC1 or GC2 and below, somewhere around there.
That is my league, everyone. I'm ready to kick butt and shoot some balls with a car. Oh my goodness. Yeah, dude. I mean, one, I follow the same philosophy as you, Darian, because there's a lot of, just to correlate it to my profession with League of Legends. There's a lot of leagues out there, or there's a few leagues out there, but none of them really cater to specific player bases. Smurfing can be an issue. There's only so many Masters or Grandmasters players, so that's a specific league. But then when you get down to Diamond, you can have people down to Plat or Gold. So basically what I'm saying, your structure sounds amazing, looks amazing, and I'm excited to see competitive level games within your guys' realm of Seasonal Shootout, because I don't see a lot of people doing that. I don't know, I can't say the same for Rocket League. You can maybe give me some input, but yeah, dude, like, people need this, and you guys are definitely hitting a nail on a market that's like hasn't been existing. So congrats, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, man, before I let you go, you want to touch base on anything else with you guys' Premier League, Challenger League, the Tier 3, Tier 4 leagues? Anything that you want to touch base with the community before we segue to like our final topic?
Well, I'd say if you're still on the fence about competing, definitely at least check out the qualifier pages. If you have any questions, always feel free to message me about it, or message another owner. Follow me on Twitter. Follow Seasonal on Twitter. There's gonna always be information. You're not gonna want to miss out on this season, because from here on out, it's just gonna be getting larger and larger. We're not gonna
booming.
We're not gonna backtrack. We're not gonna backtrack. We're not gonna, remove a higher tier. We might even add a lower tier later on down the road. We never know. We might even extend over into another game if the opportunity arises. But
For sure.
I think this is a really great opportunity for a lot of teams to get involved with, and kind of not just talk the talk, but also walk the walk. They think that they can compete in a really high competitive level. Now's the time to show it.
I like that. I like that a lot. Oh my goodness. Someone write that down. Someone go back and clip that real quick for me, please. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm excited. And like you said, this is going to be booming more and more and more. And Esports is definitely highly interested, if not already signed, for a following season and the future seasons to come, man. Because one, like, I believe in this. Our founder, Eric A., he's very invested into elevating, the lower tiered player base up so that they have an opportunity. So it's off the soapbox. It's a win-win, both ends, good sir. And I'm more than happy and excited to see some high octane, no pun intended, games. I play Dominus, so I can't really. I'm a Dominus.
Oh, you're a Dominus main.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm literally
a Dominus
Dominus
main too. It's okay.
Oh, the Dominus main. That's a keyboard and mouse. That's so insane.
So if you ever want to see some high Dominus action,
Tune into this guy.
change
right
it up
here.
on you. High Dominus. Gonna replace high octane now.
High Dominus gameplay. I love it. I love the phrase that we're coining here on our stream, good sir. Well, Darian, it seems like we've walked the walk, so to speak. We've talked about a good amount of things. We give a little bit of insight about, who you are as a person, your love for esports. Talked about the start of Seasonal Shootout and your esports endeavors, and then we definitely showcased some things that's going on currently this season for Seasonal Shootout, as well as gave some insight, on what's coming to the future of Seasonal Shootout, good sir. So I think we hit all of our topics. We definitely touched base on this wonderful stream today. Before I let you go, though, I definitely could answer a couple questions from the stream if they have any, and then I can also chime in as well with my own personal questions for you, good sir. So, and while we wait for some questions from the stream, if there is any, good sir, let's start off right now. I'm gonna hit you with it right now. Who's your favorite RLCS team of all time?
RLCS team.
Are you a Squishy Muffins fanboy?
Of all time or right now? Or can I give you both answers?
Give me both.
I'd say all time. I would probably have to say probably C9 way back when, because I actually had the chance to go see them in Vegas, and that was when they defeated Dignitas. And that was really the moment I was like, I want to do this. I want to be around this. So I have to credit C9 to, kind of jump-starting my passion even further into the realm of esports, because at the time I was already kind of involved a little bit. I think that was around 2018 or something around there. But I definitely credit going to that RLCS LAN in Vegas and seeing C9 beat the Titans at the time in Dignitas. And that was credit. That's where I got my esports.
That's where you got
start.
your big start was from C9. You were a big fan of C9.
Big start.
But what about
Yes.
now?
Now, I'd have to say it's V1.
Really?
V1 is probably my favorite team to follow. Very close second is a crew. You know, I followed a crew ever since they were vibrant last year, and seeing them be able to rise up from a bubble scene into where they are now is so incredible. And to be able to work with them and run their productions for RLCS, you know, on their closed quals and their RLCS events is just amazing. So being able to work with a crew and be involved in the RLCS scene at a high level like that is still super fun. I have to give them a massive shout out for giving me that opportunity to continue to work with them even after they got picked up. But in terms of team right now that I would follow on a regular basis, it would probably have to be V1. I love what they have going on. You know, being able to meet them in LA last major was super cool. I went to their viewing party. Everyone was super nice, and that kind of just solidified. Okay, yeah, V1 is going to be my team to follow.
For sure. I respect it.
Yeah.
Respect it, man. V1's been kind of, just to touch base on, you know, Minnesota. They've been kind of popping off with everything going on in the esports world, and obviously their Call of Duty team, Minnesota Rocker. I've been to a couple watch parties too with like the V1 staff and whatnot, and super sweet, super nice people, and everyone's so diehard for the team, win or lose. So yeah, man, it's good to hear. For me, to give you some insight, I literally only follow Arsenal. Don't judge me. Like, I only watch like content videos, and I'll tune into RLCS every now and then. But yeah, man, I mean, for me, I guess I just kind of cheer for the hype man. It's anyone that's hype inside RLCS. Like, I remember watching Squishy Muffins back then because all my friends were obsessed. I wasn't a big, you know, RLCS fanboy then, or wasn't even playing the game that often. But yeah, I think if we're talking about players, Squishy, Arsenal, definitely top two. That's
What
for
about Justin.
Justin?
The iconic "This is Rocket League."
This is Rocket League! Oh my god.
You
Don't even
didn't
start.
jump on. It sounds like you're a bandwagon, and
I
I'm surprised you didn't mention the Justin shot because
Oh my God.
that'd be a pretty big bandwagon to jump on.
That is a pretty. You know what? Don't judge me. You know what? I'm a big league guy. I'm a big league guy. Obviously, I still watch RLCS every now and then. Tune in, keep my esports news going. But yeah, man. I mean, those are probably the big ones. I'm definitely more into the content side, which brings me to my next question: Sunless or Musty?
I'd probably have to go Sunless.
Sunless is so good.
I've watched a little bit of Musty here and there. I know people that know Musty. I had a chance to actually meet Sunless in LA as well. Super chill guy. But I would have to go Sunless for content for sure.
That's so cool. Oh my goodness. That's actually so crazy that you're so close to like all these people in like the car soccer world. It's absolutely insane. Good sir.
Being able to go out to LA was such a big chance and big opportunity, especially the first land back after COVID.
I bet.
Because everything went online, and that's when the Rocket League community really started popping off. In my opinion, was COVID, and being able to meet everyone that kind of made it during that COVID bubble, and seeing everyone pop off was super cool. Being able to meet everyone that I work with online or have talked to, it was such a really cool and fun opportunity to go and experience that.
For sure. Man, now you got me asking another question. How many events have you been to, Mr. Darian? How often do you go to events? I gotta know.
I've only been to 2 Rocket League events. I'm gonna make it 3 in August when I go to Worlds.
Nice.
But I definitely really want to try to go to more and more events. Now that I'm full-time freelancing for producing and observing.
For sure.
Not just Rocket League. I want to go to other events. Call of Duty, Valorant,
Yeah.
Fortnite, all of these fun events. I want to be able to immerse myself in not just Rocket League, but esports as a whole.
For sure. Well, my next question for you then, good sir, is what other esports do you pay attention to besides Rocket League? If you do you dabble?
So the main 2 would probably be Warzone and Valorant right now. I'm in a really big Valorant kick. I've been streaming it nonstop this week. I didn't
Dang.
stream last night. I was kind of tired from an event that I was on. But Valorant, I really want to get into Valorant. And that's kind of, honestly, if Seasonal was to branch out and do another game, I would love to try to start up a Valorant league at some point in the future.
That is something that
Who knows?
who knows? That's something that I like. Was I was gonna say. I don't know about you guys' operations with Valorant, but for me, man, like, I guess I fell in love with Riot Games. Sadly, I mean, they're great.
Darn.
Darn it! I fell in love with the biggest game out there. Just, man. I don't know. It'd be super cool if Seasonal Shootout did something with Riot Games, specifically Valorant. I think that'd be super cool. Yeah, dude. To give you a little insight of me, Rocket League's definitely my I tune in every now and then when I see Rlcs streaming, and I definitely watch all the content. Like I'm a pretty big Sunless fanboy, not gonna lie. So, content-wise, everything's really good. I used to be on like a tutorial grind when I first started playing because I was so garbage. Like I could barely air roll. I still can barely air roll. And I can hit aerials, but I can't do like the cuxer pinches. I can't do, ceiling shots. It's absolutely insane. I don't know how you guys do that. I barely can do flicks. Barely. So, that's my
Mechanics in
background.
Rocket League are very difficult to learn. You gotta go into like custom training packs and just spend your time in free play all the time.
I tried doing that hoop thing. I can't. I get past like 2 rounds and I'm done.
Hoops is fun. For me, I don't really do training. I'm kind of exposing myself here, but I don't play free player training. I just play casual and ranked. Everything that I learn is from watching streams and watching these players play and be like, oh, okay, that's how I fix what I'm doing wrong. Okay, that's how you do this mechanic. That's how you do this. I'm going to try that. And then I just kind of slowly work that into my muscle memory.
For sure.
So, I don't have time for free play. If I'm gonna play something, I'm gonna play something. I'm not gonna sit there and just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna sit in free play for an hour and then get tired of it and then get off the game. No, if I only got an hour to play, I'm gonna play.
You're gonna play. Yep. I've noticed that's my transition too. I used to practice and now I'm like, I don't care. I'm just gonna go right into rank. Bad idea. I usually lose or something. So yeah. Man, all this talk about Rocket League makes me want to play Rocket League. God dang it.
Maybe we'll have to play after this.
That'd be sick. Super, super sick. Wait, I have one last question, unless you have a question for me after this, Darian. What's your rank? What is your peak rank? 3s, 2s, and 1s if you play 1s.
My peak rank is GC2. I promoted into GC2 and then I lost it the very next day.
No.
Right now I'm sitting at a lovely C2, C3.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Gotta get my GC back. Gotta get it at some point. So if anyone wants to help carry in chat, you're more than welcome.
That's so funny. I love how we've had some viewers, Courtney and Just Staying Alive, Pyro J. Thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate you and everyone else tuning in to this wonderful stream. Who knows, Darian? We might have you back on stream. I would love to have you back on stream, in a few months, catch up post seasons and just see what's going on with Seasonal Shootout. Or we could be personal guests. Me and you can just shoot the crap about maybe Valorant or more Rocket League as I get into it more and more. But that's all I have for you, good sir. Do you have any questions or concerns for me?
Not that I could think of at the moment right now.
Okay.
I did notice that we did have a question in chat from Courtney telling me to say, guess what?
Did we?
But I'm going to give her the answer to it, and the answer is chicken butt.
Chicken
joke's
butt.
on you, Courtney.
Oh my goodness.
A little insight to Courtney. I don't just do production and freelancing, but I also do management for teams as well. I'm actually managing Courtney and Allegro, which is one of the teams that's participating in our Challenger League. Shout out to Courtney Creed and Trip. And I actually just picked up a second team in episode 5, which is Cynical, Storm, and Aegis. So massive shout out to those guys. Love them. And I appreciate you guys for keeping me in the management scene for Rocket League, because personally, without managing some teams, I don't feel like I'd be able to have the contacts that I do now for Seasonal. So it kind of works hand in hand.
Very hand in hand. You beat me to the punch. God dang it, Darren. I was about to ask you, do you have any shout outs or anything anyone you want to reach out to on this platform? But You kind of did. But either way, anything else want to add to the end of our scheduled broadcast?
Well, I'd say if you ever want to like pop into one of my streams, you're more than welcome to twitch.tv/ignited_gaming. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. I don't really often post on there all too much. If I do, it's usually a retweet of productions that I'm running or going to be on. But my Twitter is like right down there, right below.
Right down there.
Seasonal's Twitter is SS League HQ. For everything on the league, you're more than welcome to drop a follow there. And yeah, I think that's all I got for you, Luis.
Thank you so much, good sir. This was a nice talk, man. It was a really nice talk. It's been much needed. So thank you, everyone, tuning into stream. We appreciate you. We look forward to more from Darian at Seasonal Shootout coming in the next few weeks, months. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.